So welcome to the Scott and James show. We're here on episode 12, and it's a funny one this week, isn't it?
It is, and we don't want to. I don't know, because we've left it a little bit longer for revealing the results of the poll.
Yeah,
but I think that's probably been a good thing overall.
Yeah.
So I'm not telling you how many votes we had.
It was going into millions, I think, wasn't it?
I couldn't count them all, though, that many.
Really?
But it was basically 66.66666% against 33.333%, and it was in favour of the golden hour.
Right.
Which I don't know if anybody lives in good old sunny Yorkshire, you'll probably know that this last week hasn't had this weather.
Yeah.
So I think that's where we've struggled a bit, haven't we, James?
Yeah. So what we need in order to perform that task is we need the right type of weather. And unfortunately, when we've been looking to go out, it's been raining. And
it's been awful, hasn't it?
Oh.
It's not only just been raining, but it's been very unpredictable as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was toying with the idea of showing some previous pictures, and I was going to go through some weddings that I'd done, and I might stick a couple of pictures up, but I was going to go through some weddings that I'd done just to kind of show what effect the golden hour does. And I know that some of the pictures that I've previously taken, which we've just been talking before we came live, is that I was going to do some of the sunset, but that ain't what we're after, is it?
No. So same as you, we'll put a few pictures up just to give you an idea of what we're talking about. But the sunset is we're taking pictures of the sun setting. And although it does give a bit of a golden light, that's not necessarily what we're going for. What we're going for is what subjects look like in that light rather than the light itself.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's making it harder or easier for us, but it does kind of mean that we can't use any kind of pre-existing photos and do it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a shame because last week when we went out, as you'll have seen, the weather was amazing. And that was even up on the moor where it's normally a bit chilly and windy, isn't it? And it was just fantastic.
Yeah.
And then this week it's done nothing but kind of rain.
Yeah. Well, if you had chosen the other option, we'd have had a completed task this week. So it doesn't matter what weather's like, does it really?
No, it always used to rain in olden days, didn't it? So
yeah.
It would have been all right.
In fact, if it hadn't been, I'd probably added some rain to it.
Yeah. Bit of Photoshop. So what else have you been up to this week? I noticed on your Instagram that you've been out done a pre-wedding shoot.
Yeah, well, I did that a week or so ago, but I was editing it this week just to get it done. It was. Have you heard of Judy Woods? I actually thought Judy Woods was a person, but it's a woods.
It's a place.
The place, yeah. I had never heard of it.
Do I work with her or something?
Yeah. How is Judy Woods these days? She all right?
She's all right.
But genuinely, I'd never heard of it, and I've drove past it so many times. But anyway, it was a nice place. There was plenty of trees. There was some plenty of spots to go sit down, and I think, like most people, when they do the pre-wedding shoot, it's quite nerve-wracking up until walking up to it.
Yeah, the actual build-up and walking up to it. Up until you kind of say hello.
Yeah. But they also don't know what you're going to be asking them to do, and there's the fear of people walking past, and are you going to be asked to dangle from a tree or something? And the reality is that it's nothing like that, is it?
No, that's it. And the thing is, to be honest, after they've done a couple of shots, if you ask them to dangle from a tree, they probably would, because they've relaxed by then and they're having a good time. Yeah,
it's normally me that dangles from a tree to get the right shot, or crawling around on grass or something like that. But yeah, that's what I was. That's what I was finishing off this week, and I think they turned out really well, to be honest with you.
Was that your phone in the picture? And in the
oh no, it wasn't.
Pictures, was that their phone?
Yeah,
because I was going to say, if it had been your phone with all cracks and stuff in it, that could have been.
I know.
Perfect.
And you know what? I'd have used this if I'd have actually got it delivered in time, but I'd smashed my phone a couple of days before, so that was the best one, and it was quite a good effect. But I really liked how they were with each other, and that makes it so easy, doesn't it? When you're taking pictures of somebody who are just naturally comfortable with each other,
and they don't feel awkward.
Yeah, and it's easy to say to be natural, because there's somebody jumping about all over the place taking the picture. And I don't know about you, but that's why I do it, really, just so that they get the nerves out of the way on the pre-wedding shoot, and on the day they know it's going to be very easy, and it's there's
more relaxed.
Yeah.
Do you find that some of the better photos come in the moments between where you've asked them to pose?
Yeah. Well, there's one that I put on. I think it was Instagram, and it wasn't even a pose, to be honest with you. I just took a picture of them both getting ready to do something else, and and they were both kind of looking down. And I'll show you the picture now, Aaliyah. But this one, for me, was probably one of the better ones, and it just showed them really relaxed, because they didn't know they were having the picture taken, or they were just having a laugh together, or whatever they were doing. Do you find that?
Definitely. It's like you might ask them to pose, and they stood there and they've got the fake smile on, or the pose that they've practiced, and then you'll take the photo and they then relax after you've taken the photo, and they might be messing around together or just talking, and you get that one moment then whilst they're just having a chat where you'll get a natural smile, or you might say something, and it might be completely intentional, like it helps if I take lens cap off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you'll get a natural smile or laugh out of it, and that'll be the picture, as opposed to the one that you've taken 5 seconds earlier where they're kind of pretending to smile as it is.
Yeah. Do you know what I've often thought about, and I haven't actually done it, and I don't know if it'd work, but there's occasions, and this is probably mainly at weddings, where if you're doing poses, or you just literally set a camera up, whether you're doing it on kind of an interval shot, and then just leave them with the camera, so that there's nobody actually taking it, and they can literally do what they want.
Yeah.
I did a wedding not so long ago, and there was a girl there that was interested in photography, and I gave her the Pen F.
Right.
And she was really comfortable with, obviously she was related to, I think it was a brother that was getting married. So she took them off whilst I was doing something else. Because she showed an interest. I wasn't touting around looking for people to help me.
Free assistant.
But the pictures that she got, because they were comfortable with her and they were messing about and everything else, it worked out quite well, really.
I should get some good kind of candid shots.
Yeah. So what's new with you then?
Not much. As I said, I've been stuck in. I did get delivery of a new little toy, which hopefully should improve some of the footage that I've been doing for the B-roll. I got the DJI Osmo.
Nice.
Or DJI OM 4, as it's now called.
It looks like something you'd get in a dentistry or something.
It's really cool, but as of yet, I don't really know how to use it. So the other thing is, it's like, I've been kind of trying to practice in the house with it and do some stuff, but it's not the same as when you're going out and using it kind of properly.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's got some, probably similar to your drone. It's got some built-in kind of patterns and face tracking and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it will help, and it definitely, even just kind of walking with it at arm's length, definitely kind of smooths out the footage. But I need to use it for something. I can't just use it around my house. So we'll give that a go. Hopefully, if we get a bit of better weather this week, or like we said, even if we don't get the better weather, I think we'll give it a go anyway.
Yeah.
See what we can come up with, and if it's a case of relying on Photoshop, we can show people how to cheat.
Yeah, I don't know what you're up to this following week, but if we've both got some spare time, we could always meet up again, and at least we have a subject to take a picture of, don't we?
Definitely. I could, I'll check my diary. I'll have my people talk to your people, and we'll sort something out.
Yeah.
But I think we should do something.
Yeah. So, with regard to the golden hour, we obviously talked about it a little bit when we was talking about what the two challenges were. But ultimately, the advantages of the golden hour shot, especially for a portrait, is the fact that you get a much nicer image, don't you? There's no harsh shadows or anything like that.
Yeah, and it makes skin look healthy because it's a nice warm diffused light.
Yeah. So
it's not going to pick up every imperfection, and it is golden hour. It's a golden light, and it looks nice. And it does depend what look you're going for. But kind of one of the benefits of it is that it's golden hour, and shortly after golden hour you have blue hour, which is just obviously after the sun has set, but before it's fully dark, and you get a completely different look.
Yeah. With
very similar kind of settings, but it looks completely different.
Yeah.
Don't know whether that's potential for a future challenge, but we'll have to bear that in mind, maybe.
Yeah, that is
what people come up with.
So if any of you guys are wanting just to take pictures of your family with whatever camera you've got, and if you want to just hang on that little bit of extra time just to get the golden hour, so if you take a picture of your family, your baby or whatever, rather than taking it midday when you're going to get quite a harsh look, and it's going to be very difficult, isn't it, really, to get it to look how you want to.
We're looking at kind of between, I think at the moment it's kind of between 7 and 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Based on early September when we are now. Obviously that changes throughout the year, but it's still more or less always an hour of beautiful light.
Yeah.
One thing that you could call this a plug if you want, I don't know. But I know that you've seen it on Facebook, James, but I'm trying to sell one of my cameras. 2 reasons. One, I don't really use it that much anymore, and I've got my eye on a new one. But I also really want a drone. So I've sent a couple of messages out this week to people that were selling drones on Facebook Marketplace to see if they'd be interested in just doing a swap.
Yeah.
unfortunately, neither of them took me up on it. But if anybody knows anyone that's
What drones were there that you were looking at?
Mavic Air 2.
All right, okay.
So the kind of amount that they're going for the Fly More combos is probably about 800.
Right.
The price that I've put on the camera that I'm selling, because I'm selling a lens with it and a few extras and stuff, is around about 1,000. So it's not a bad swap. It's pretty much a like for like, which would give me another toy to play with, wouldn't it? Something else to learn, isn't it?
It's dangerous, doesn't it?
It's non-stop, yeah.
But then the trouble with that is if I find that if I've got too many gadgets at once, the last one is the priority, and the rest of them, it's almost like I've not done enough research. So, I mean, I've got
the one you want the most.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a gimbal, not like yours. It's a manual one, and that is good. But then I've got the GoPro, which is really good, and I don't need to put that on a gimbal. So the gimbal doesn't get used as much as it probably should do. And then after the GoPro, I then got the drone.
Yeah.
And then I've just put an order in now for a helicopter, so I won't even be using the drone.
Is it a full size one, or a remote control that you're actually going to get?
It's the original Airwolf one.
That should be all right.
So yeah, it should be quite good. So there you go. And that's quite a good idea. I'll have a look for some things that I can flog. Next week I'll have a route around.
I think the thing's been is with being on lockdown, I've not really used it anyway.
Yeah.
And then I'm hoping to get a new one by the time I've got another wedding, so it makes sense to kind of offload it now before it's worth even less.
It's quite a good swap that though, isn't it? The camera. So what type of things?
So.
What type of things do you do with the camera? Do you know? So if anybody's watching and they're after one.
Yeah, well, it's Canon 5D Mark III, so it's full frame professional camera. It's a little bit older now. I think I've had it about 6 years,
right.
But it is a workhorse full frame camera.
Yeah, clever bargain.
Or a Swapsies.
Yeah, or a Swapsies, yeah.
Swapsies.
Yeah.
No shinies though.
No. So, hopefully next week we will have some interesting footage to show you. And I mean, for me, personally, I would think it'd be good if we did do it together, if we're able to synchronise some times and the weather. Because, you're searching around and aren't you looking for an object. You're not just doing the golden hour, you're actually searching around looking for an object to kind of show what you're wanting to do.
That's it. And if we both go to the same place at the same time, it may well be that once we're there, we're heading completely different directions.
Yeah.
And then meet back up and see what we've got. So yeah, it would be a good challenge. And hopefully it gets it all done in one day for us as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a plus. So have we got all else to cover off, or?
I think that's pretty good for now.
Yeah,
we've rambled on long enough about nothing, which is what we're good at.
Yeah, do you know what?
We know what we're doing.
These chats that we're having now, if you think this is long, this is just like an introduction normally when we start chatting about gear and what we've been up to and other things. So count yourself lucky that this is only lasting, 20 minutes or something, is it? 15 minutes?
Yeah, something like Definitely.
Yeah. So, thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week. If you've got any tasks that you want us to look at or to consider, if you've got any questions, if there's anything that needs clarifying, or we've given you any duff information,
call us out.
Yeah, call us out. Do you know what? There would have been. I would have probably left myself wide open if I'd have done the golden hour, but just done the sunset one.
Because they both fallen a bit foul of that.
Yeah. I was thinking, let's get a really nice sunset, but that isn't what we're doing.
No. So until next week, we'll speak again.
Yeah. See you later.
See you later.